Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. I want to take a look at this new moon in Libra that's occurring today. Today is the 16th. I'm looking for my my astrological calendar. It was just here. Seem to have misplaced it. I was going to tell you the exact time, but let's look at the chart. It's early. It's very early. All right, let's take a look at the chart here. Okay, so I found the chart. And so the actual new moon occurs at 3:31 p.m. today on the east coast of the U.S. And we have, this is the chart. This chart is erected for Washington, D.C. And so my apologies to people who don't happen to live in the United States. You can apply the archetypical stuff to yourself. Everybody can apply the archetypical Libra information, even the aspects. Where it falls in the chart has more to do with where it's, where this new moon is occurring. So just in general, the new moon in Libra is asking us to relate in a new way, And this new moon is very powerfully aspected by Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, and Mars here in Aries, retrograde in Aries. So we have a square to Saturn of this new moon. The square to Saturn is a square where we're approaching a point of questioning authority. And Saturn in Capricorn is the structure of the government, the structure of authority. We have a square to Pluto. This square to Pluto is actually past the point of questioning authority. We know we are questioning them and we want change. And so this is both a request or an insistence upon change when it comes to the way those in power are governing, quite frankly. We have this opposition to Mars. The opposition to Mars brings an awareness around our actions. When Mars is retrograde, whatever sign Mars is retrograde in, a retrogression actually points in the direction of the sign opposite. And so Mars retrograde in Aries points to Libra and reminds us that in order to take action that's going to have any consequence, we need to really examine the way we relate to one another, Now, the new moon is in Libra, and Libra is a sign ruled by Venus. And so I like to see what Venus is doing in a chart of a new moon. In this case, the chart of the new moon. And we can see we have Venus here in Virgo. It is approaching in opposition to Neptune. Venus Neptune is an interesting planetary pair because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. Venus is the planet of love, and Neptune is the planet of compassion. And so Venus is a little bit more the energy of what's in it for me, right? And Neptune is more of an energy in what's in it for us, or maybe not even what's in it for us, but we are one. So we have the we are one and what's in it for me kind of energy here. And there's an awareness coming. There's an awareness. This is going to get closer and closer to its exact opposition. The other thing about this Venus-Neptune opposition is that it's actually in a square to the nodes. Now, Neptune has been squaring the nodes for a while now because Neptune moves very slowly. Whenever we have a planet square the nodes, it brings awareness of both sides of the nodes. Now, Neptune can symbolize a lot of things. It can symbolize oneness. It can symbolize confusion. It can symbolize lies. Um, Depending on how you're utilizing the axis. In other words, the North Node in Gemini points to the need for facts, the need for information, the need for journalism. Gemini's journalism, fair and eyes wide open, right? And then Sag, the South Node, is letting go of old beliefs, old opinions, um, old sort of concepts that no longer serve, right? Things that we are in a way evolving past. Some of that has to do with opinions that we might have had. In fact, I'll give you an example for myself. I definitely had an opinion about who Donald Trump was, mostly. And while there was this little part of me that entertained the fact that he is I probably shouldn't use the word tool, but a tool for spirit. It's or maybe I should say an opportunity for us to look at things that we otherwise wouldn't look at. I do. I have changed my mind about that. I believe that he has come in at this time to show us something about ourselves that we needed to see. And so on a certain level, we have created Donald Trump. We have created Donald Trump. And fighting for him or fighting against him is not necessarily going to overcome Donald Trump. We need to overcome ourselves. We need to remember to love one another. We need to remember to relate in a new way, in a different way. And Neptune, as the planet of compassion, can point that out. The errors, I guess, in our beliefs or in our ways of thinking, and really just start communicating with these people that seem like they're so far away from us. And it's difficult at best. I have enough trouble communicating at this point with people who agree with me. And as I said in my morning walk through the garden today, one of my students was saying that she's in this political group where people lean on left-leaning political group, and when she even brings up the fact or the idea comes up that maybe perhaps Trump is serving some sort of purpose, and I'm actually extrapolating from what she said. She didn't quite say it that way, but this is what I got from the conversation. Is that people were attacking her or each other, that how dare you even think that there's anything worth it from the sky. So if we can't see what's in front of us, yeah, I to a certain extent I feel like this has to be a human thing. It can't be a political thing, right? So anyway, and even in this chart for America, the North Node is in the house of the people. The South Node is in the house of those in charge, the government, right? And so they're going to have to look to the people. They're going to have to remember that it's the people they serve. It's the people they serve. Now, this Neptune square the nodes can also be the pandemic. Neptune and Pisces can be the pandemic, reminding us that we are all in this together at one level or another. And it is challenging our beliefs, and requiring us to interact and talk to one another and get the facts straight. Okay, so that's one side of this. And this is a theme that's been going on a while because Neptune's been squaring the nodes for a while now. This particular new moon, we have Venus on the other side squaring the nodes. Now, the resolution node for Neptune in this case is the South Node in Sagittarius. So Neptune, the energy of Neptune requires us to question what we believe and which of those beliefs do we need to let go of in order to come to a place of unity. Okay. Venus, on the other hand, square the nodes. The resolution node for Venus is the North Node. And so Venus in Virgo is about fixing what's broken. And Venus is the archetype of relationship. And so we need to fix what's broken in our relationships in order that we can communicate with one another. Okay. And the other interesting thing is Venus, while a ruler of the sun and moon, is in Virgo, which is a sign ruled by Mercury. And the other sign that Mercury rules is Gemini. And so we have to look at Mercury as well in this chart. And when we look at Mercury, for those of you who know, we have Mercury up here in this chart in the 9th house, but it's retrograde in Scorpio. And so Mercury in Scorpio requires us to dig deep, look within, look at our psychological underpinnings, get to the core of the problem, get to the fear and the loathing and all those things, and really sort of re-examine those feelings. And these are pretty dark feelings, but it's necessary in order for us to free ourselves from them. The other thing is that although it is wide, there is a wide trine between Venus and Mercury. And so part of this is changing our minds. Part of this is moving into a place of compassion and love. All of this is a promise of this new moon, along with these powerful squares to the planets in Capricorn. We need to take responsibility for ourselves. We need to take responsibility for ourselves. We need to grow up. We need to realize that if we want to be free, we have to be responsible. And we can see that certainly in the country, where there are those people who refuse to wear masks, who don't think COVID is actually a thing. It's a thing. We should wear masks. It's an easy thing to do. It's not that they're not asking us to lop off an arm and donate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's an easy thing to do, and we have to have a willingness to do. And maybe it's not, you know, well, I mean, it's silly. It's like, is this the mountain you want to die on? Is this the hill you want to die on? I ask people who are anti-mask people. And if it was just them, then maybe I could say, well, you know, go ahead, go get COVID. But it's not like that. First of all, you don't really want anybody to get sick if you can help it. But if people aren't going to be responsible, then they have to be held responsible for their actions. And that could be getting COVID, right? That being said, they can spread it to people who are conscientious. So we're all in this together, guys. We're all in this together. So I want to look at the Sabian symbol for this particular new moon, because I find the Sabian symbols to be very, very enlightening. So let me just, I need to do a new share here. Let me find where I have my, I have to find it here. Just give me a moment. So I've actually done a little bit already on this new moon. I did a October, astrology of October, and I did talk specifically about the lunation cycles. But you can check that out if you like. So it's the astrology of October. But and I talk about the other and the 2 full moons in October in that one. So we have this new moon at 24 degrees of Libra. The Sabian symbol for that is a butterfly with a 3rd wing on its left side. It says the ability to develop for inner strengthening new modes of response to basic life situations. relating in a different way. Interesting. The butterfly is an ancient and traditional symbol of the results of the process of spiritual rebirth. If the butterfly has 3 wings instead of 2, a special development of an aspect of the spiritual life is shown. 3 is a symbol of fulfillment. Some power has been added to the normal spiritual life of the individual person. The left side usually refers to the instinctual field of consciousness, but it is also the heart's side. A new strength is shown, perhaps yet unrealized. So we're talking about a new, even just a new level of awareness, and we could connect that to what many people are calling the 5th dimension. The 5th dimension is a dimension in which we are experiencing it through our heart, through the unity of the heart, and it's a place of holding back, seeing a broader perspective, a greater perspective, and holding back judgment of the mind, and actually coming from a place of heart. And that changes everything. That changes everything. So I'm just curious as to I haven't looked at this, so I don't know if it's going to give us further information. But I want to look at Virgo here. I want to look at that the Venus in Virgo. And let me just unfortunately, I can't remember off the top of my head what degree it was in. So just give me a moment here. Okay, so we're talking about 17 degrees of Virgo. Excellent. Okay, 17 degrees Virgo. Oops. Am I in the wrong spot? I am. Sorry, guys. Oh, goodness gracious. Where are you, Virgo? Here we go. Okay. We're going to learn together. Okay, 17 degrees of Virgo. This is the Sabian symbol for Venus. Venus, the ruler of Libra, Venus squaring the nodes of the moon. A volcanic eruption, the explosive energy of long repressed contents of the subconscious. We are dealing here with a dramatic release of energies which has been kept in check by an outer shell of ego-controlled consciousness. It may be a spectacular catharsis, but it often takes paths of destruction. Yet unless some form of purification by fire is experienced, the inner pressure of the karmic past or more recent frustrations would shake up, perhaps even more destructively, the very foundations of the personality. And the key word here is explosion. So, wow, I didn't expect that one. Okay, so, so this even continues to point in the direction of the necessity for relating to one another in a different way. And so I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I hope you enjoyed my walk through the garden. I was going to put them together, but this was just easier. And it's early, so you'll have to forgive me for taking the easy way out. All right, guys, like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that. Take care of yourselves. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Help who you can help. Help yourself first, and then past that, help who you can help. And together we will make it through this very challenging, but ultimately transforming time. We're almost done. We're almost done with this part. I can't say we're completely done because we have a lot of work ahead of us. But this particular part, we're almost done. And the faster we get along, the faster it's over. Okay, guys, take care. Love you all. Namaste.